I read in an old book yesterday that you can use the leaves on a rhubarb plant to take the tarnish off your silver. Let's go see and find out. Wyoming. Well, I had to come out of the garden. It's windy up there, and the wind was so loud when I was trying to video. Now, in this old book, it said to take the stalk and the leaf, just mash it up or chop it up, and put just enough water so that it would just barely cover that rhubarb. Simmer 10 minutes, and then you can either use the liquid in a cloth and wrap around something that's silver, that's tarnished, or you can just take that mash and put it on the silver. Now, one special note. One, I'm so impressed with my rhubarb because it's September 1st and it is still growing. That is impressive. But number two, and more importantly really, is today is my mom's birthday. She is 83 years old. We went and drove over and saw them yesterday. Gave her a birthday present, and I just wanted to say hi and happy birthday. And we're actually going to go over and see them again on Saturday because my siblings and family and friends are going to gather together and celebrate my parents being married for 65 years. I'm not even 65. I mean, I'm getting close, but I'm not quite 65. So first, happy birthday, Mom. And second, happy anniversary, Mom and Dad. I love you. And so let's go in and see what was a failure and what was a success. Here's the rhubarb ripped up into the pan. I'm going to add a little bit of water so it can simmer for 10 minutes. It's now simmered for 10 minutes. So I'm going to let that just cool a little teeny bit. I'm taking it off the burner. And then I'm going to soak a cloth in there. To remove the tarnish from silver, you can do it a couple different ways. You can just pile those leaves that you simmered right on to the silver item, the pan, the glass, the cup, whatever it is. And these are goblets. And so one of them, I'm just piling the leaves on so you can see how that works. And the other goblet, I'm going to wrap with the cloth that I soaked in the liquid. Here's the one that I wrapped in the goblet. And you can see it's still warm. It's still steaming. And I'm just going to leave both of those for an hour. And then we'll come back and we'll see how much has already been taken off. The rhubarb has been on for about an hour. So I'm going to start taking that off and seeing how it's doing. I'm going to grab a towel so that I can do some rubbing. So we're rubbing on it. And so I say that is a wives' tale. That it does not work. The rhubarb leaves are not acidic enough to take the tarnish off your silver. I have it on 3 different ones, and it doesn't look any better than it did before. Putting some rhubarb on scratchy pad. Let's see if just the abrasiveness of it with the rhubarb will make a difference. Now that does make a difference. So let's try this part up here that hadn't soaked. It just has the rhubarb on it. And then we'll try the one that did soak. Now that is making a difference. The combination, so that it has a little pull on it, so that it lifts it up. So let's try this one that we had soaked for an hour. Let's put a little bit more rhubarb on. Looks like spinach. Let's see what we can do. I would have just dumped these in a great big bucket with the heated rhubarb, but they have candles inside. And so that wasn't going to work for me. Well, I have to say that with just a little bit of abrasion, it does come off. And I'll rinse those so I can really see it. So let's try this one. Did not have it on the top, and it was really tarnished. So we'll see what happens. Oh, see, it's starting to lift it. It doesn't have to have a lot of pressure either. Let's rinse those off. Now I did want to try just scrubbing it with the scrubby pad with no rhubarb, just in case that would do it too. And then I wouldn't need the rhubarb. But as you can see, I'm using the same amount of pressure and it is not coming off. And so it is the rhubarb acidity that does that. Here's an original tarnished cup. Now let's move the one that I used the rhubarb, that I used a scrubby pad with it. Now it did scratch the silver some, but I think I can probably buff that out. But it did become very clean, and then I decided I would do one with just a scratchy pad, just in case it was only that. But as you can see, without the rhubarb, there is still tarnish left on there. So the acidity, the rhubarb being so acidic, really made a difference with that. Then I decided I would do one with just one coat of a commercially made tarnish remover, and that's this one. Now I think with the second coat, I think I can really polish it up, but I only wanted to do one coat because that's all I did with the rhubarb or with just a scratchy pad. But as you can see, with one coat, the rhubarb and the scratchy pad is by far the best one. And I do like the fact that I don't have to buy anything. I can just make it once a summer. I'm going to polish up all my silver. And I think perhaps if I had some other kind of abrasive thing than just that scratchy pad, I could probably do it without scratching anything on my silver. Though honestly, I can't say I really mind that look. But I am going to buff it. And I think those will all just go away. So though I thought it was a failure when I just used the cloth and the rhubarb, I didn't think it worked very well. I think it worked more like this one, the chemical one. But with the scratchy pad, it did really make it look really nice. Here's the smaller cups with a tarnished one in the center so that you could see how well the rhubarb did on those. Because I didn't want it to just be, well, that's just a different kind of cup. The silver is just a little bit different. So I tried it on many different ones. And the rhubarb with the scratchy pad, really, and it was so easy. It was much easier than when I was using the chemical one. So I say rhubarb's a win-win. As always, like, subscribe, share with the world. I hope you found this interesting. That even though the leaf of a rhubarb is poisonous and we can't use it, and usually we just throw it in the compost pile where it's good there, but there's other things we can do with them.